Chapter 142. So it's so refreshing to be able to beat up a beauty. In the face of the aggressive divine body phenomenon, it was very difficult for Sanshi to resist it with his spiritual strength alone. Half of the lunar star's light was quickly swallowed. Sanshi pursed his lips and did not panic at all. Although he had yet to cultivate the demonic blood transformation technique, and could not unleash the full power of the blood river Dharma treasures, the 9-yang essence energy that he had fused with the 9-yang divine technique, and the Khanate pure yang technique was enough to deal with this woman. As he mobilized his cultivation, his body emitted a brilliant light. Balls of scarlet flame surged out of his acupuncture points. As they leapt out, they distorted the air. It was as if he was carrying 9 small suns. Coupled with the lunar star released from his glabella, the 10 rings of glowing power instantly dispersed the darkness, causing Lu Yuayu and Old Man Nightmare to reveal shocked expressions. They were quite familiar with the phenomenon of the 9 nether divine body. Basically, among people of the same level, unless they also had a divine body, they would definitely be suppressed and could not unleash even 30% of their strength. Especially Old Man Nightmare, he was especially afraid at this moment. This person did not have a divine body, but he had broken through the suppression of the phenomenon. How deep was his foundation? In particular, this blood-robed old ghost had just completed its possession. Logically speaking, his cultivation should have decreased, but he was still so powerful. He was really not simple. Lu Yuai's performance was different. She saw that her pressure did not make Sanshi embarrassed, but she was not convinced. She still said proudly, "It's just that your cultivation level is higher. When I reach the perfected foundation establishment realm, are you worthy of being my equal?" As soon as she finished speaking, a fire flashed in front of her eyes. Unexpectedly, Sanshi had attacked without saying a word. Lu Yuayu had no time to dodge the sudden sneak attack. Boom! Sanshi's fist burned with flames and landed on Lu Yuai's chest without hesitation. With a soft groan, he sent Lu Yuayu flying. Lu Yuayu, who was covered in black essence energy, fell to the ground, crushing a large area of the forest and creating a deep pit. If not for the protection of her essence energy, Lu Yuayu would have been covered in dirt on the spot. "Brother Blood Robes, please show mercy." Seeing that Sanshi still wanted to chase after her, Old Man Nightmare hurriedly stopped him. The two of them collided in the air. Old Man Nightmare was actually no match for Sanshi and staggered back in midair. The force of the exchange stirred up a ring of wind, blowing away a layer of the vegetation. Old Man Nightmare was shocked. "The person you possessed is actually body-tempering martial cultivator. His physique is powerful. No wonder he was targeted by you. Get lost, don't disturb me from teaching someone a lesson," Sanshi said coldly. His entire body was surrounded by blood-red light, and he carried the 9 suns. The dark red 9 suns' essence energy looked quite compatible with the Bloodseeker light. One was scorching and domineering, while the other was cold and sinister. It was a little strange for the power of yin and yang to appear on a person at the same time. He pulled out his belt and transformed it into a blood snake to hold Old Man Nightmare back. He turned around and landed on the ground. He stared coldly at Lu Yuayu, who had crawled up from the pit, and strode over. Having a natural divine body only means that you're talented, but it doesn't mean that you really have a divine-level spirit body. Lu Yuayu looked disdainful. "You think you're better than me because of your sneak attacks?" "Ha." Sanshi only replied with a chuckle. "Miss, be careful," Old Man Nightmare, who was blocked by the blood river, reminded. Swoosh! Sanshi instantly turned into an afterimage and approached. His essence energy condensed into the dragon subduing palm. With a dragon's roar, he attacked Lu Yuayu mercilessly. His powerful palm force was majestic, bringing with it a wave of heat, causing the air to explode. Lu Yuayu gritted her teeth and activated the ghost head staff in her hand and collided with Sanxi's dragon subduing palm. Amidst the earth-shattering bang, Lu Yuayu retreated, her legs leaving to fissures on the ground. "How strong do you think your body is?" All of determination appeared on Lu Yuai's pretty face. She took advantage of the situation and fell back. She supported herself with one hand on the ground, then suddenly bounced back. Her slender legs shot up and swept toward Sanshi like scissors. She must have cultivated some kind of leg technique. Her legs contained a shocking explosive power and made a near-piercing sound. From Sanshi's point of view, to round, snow-white leg suddenly stuck. out of the dress, and a pair of exquisite and small bare feet kicked over. Sanchi's pupils constricted slightly. It was not that Lu Yuai's leg technique scared him, nor was it that this woman's legs were too beautiful. It was just that this woman was not wearing underwear. In reality, women in this world did not have underwear. At most, they had a tight-fitting undergarment on their upper bodies and diapers on their lower bodies. He did not know if this woman was confident or not, but she was not even wearing diapers. Because of this, she had caused a lot of damage to his eyes. He was in a daze for a moment and instinctively raised his hand to block Lu Yuai's legs. Their arms and legs collided, and a series of muffled bangs sounded. Lu Yuai's legs were very strong, and she actually kicked Sanchi into a defensive position. Your close combat skills are only so-so. Lu Yuai thought she had the advantage and instantly became smug. Sanchi snorted and said, "Woman, you really don't know shame. You're not even wearing pants." It hurt my eyes, although said that, his eyes still lingered on his white legs as if he was admiring a piece of art. Only then did Lu Yuai realize that something was wrong and hurriedly retreated. Her slender body was as graceful as a swan. As she spun 360 degrees in the air, she quickly pressed down on the purple-black dress. Her face was slightly flushed as she glared at Sanchi with her beautiful eyes. "You're shameless. What's wrong? After all, you've already revealed yourself to me." Sanchi chuckled. This woman probably rarely fought with the opposite sex. Otherwise, she would not be so careless. "Miss, let's forget it. It's best if we go back as soon as possible," Old Man Nightmare said helplessly when he saw that his little miss was at a disadvantage again. In his opinion, Miss was still too young. She would definitely not be able to defeat the cunning and thick-skinned Sanchi. "I want." She wrapped her skirt with her essence energy and crooked her finger at Sanchi. "Come, I'll defeat you in close combat today. I'll let you experience my heavenly ghost sex 9 ghosts wandering steps." In the next second, Lu Yuai turned into 6 shadows and kicked at Sanchi. Sanchi frowned. This was really a spoiled young lady. Since that was the case, he could only beat her up. Flames surged all over his body as a volcano-like power erupted. His hair stood upside down, and his muscles expanded. His blood chi was like an ancient mammoth, and his essence energy transformed into a long flaming dragon that circled around him. Suddenly, there was a rumble. More than half of Lu Yuai's phantom image was destroyed in a single move. When she used her phantom image steps, he instantly turned into a fiery light and attacked Lu Yuai fiercely. Pooh, pooh, pooh. In an instant, Lu Yuai's phantom image was completely shattered. Moreover, 3 figures appeared around her at the same time, forcing her to use her Dharma treasures to protect her body. She became extremely flustered. Rumble, the ground trembled, and from time to time, huge pits would be blasted open by the flames. Under the aftershock, the vegetation collapsed and shattered. In less than half a minute, Lu Yuai's defense was broken. She screamed as Sanchi slapped her swollen face. She was extremely angry that she could not turn the situation around. She was talented and, indeed, had the 9 nether divine body. In the future, when she reached great mastery, she would be comparable to a god. The problem was that to achieve such a feat, the 9 nether divine body had to be at the great mastery stage. Currently, it was only in its growth stage, and its power was not stronger than Sanchi's diamond dharma body. Not to mention that Sanchi's dragon subduing palm was a 5th grade divine power. With the enhancement of the dragon elephant art and the power provided by the 9 energy cores, even if she was the goddess of heaven, she had no choice but to fall from her pedestal and be beaten up. After a few rounds, Lu Yuai was obviously not strong enough. Sanchi seized the opportunity to crush her and beat her until her face was swollen. In the end, she was even trampled under his feet. She was beaten until she saw stars and foamed at the mouth. Sanchi looked down from above. He rubbed his palms and exhaled. Beating up a beauty is so refreshing.